What's it like when one of your friends on death row is led away to be executed?
Well, you spend, years and years and months and hours of every day with a person. You talk every day, hey, what are you doing? And, let's eat something, let's make something to eat. And, he eventually comes by one day and is like, yeah, I gotta go, man. And when he leaves and turns his back and walks down them steps, he ain't coming back. They're gonna kill him.
Ritchie?
What's up?
All right.
What's all this?
Mr. Ritchie's wife, I believe, is from England.
Which part of England is she from?
St. Albans.
Uh-huh, in Hertfordshire.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I met her about 4 years ago on a pen pal, and we hit it off instantly. And she came over, visited, couldn't get enough, and married me.
How often do you get a chance to see her?
Every weekend.
Do you mind doing this?
No, not at all. Man.
Yes. It is very, very unconventional, though, because the end game in this relationship is one that you know and she knows.
Well, yeah, kind of, because a lot of guys can get off death row. A lot of us are getting off death row. But cases like mine and like another gentleman back here, we didn't kill no women or kids. We were charged with shooting a police officer, and they just don't let guys like us, no matter if you got good issues in your case or not, legal issues to let you off death row, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
She knows that, and she married you.
I know. I found something now. See, I was a stupid kid at 19 and 20. I made very poor decisions. I would make decisions. I would do things without thinking about them, and I didn't give a damn about the consequence at all. That kid, to me now, 32 years old, that kid's gone. I'm not saying I'm rehabilitated.
You're not saying that?
No, I'm not. But I am
Why
saying,
not?
because I'd be bullshitting you. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I'm the kind of guy that does need to be in prison.
Why are you the kind of guy who needs to be in prison?
Because I'm the kind of guy, if I get fired from a job and I can't find a job, I'll do it the legal way, try to get a job, and I can't find a job, and I can't pay my bills, I'll go get a gun and I'll pay my bills. And I won't think nothing about it. It won't bother me at all.
You've described the person you are, but how do you see your life looking down the line? Where does it go? Where does it end up?
Either in a box or doing a life sentence in population. That's my choices right there. Doing a life sentence or being in a box. And I gotta watch my wife grow old through these bars.
John Stevenson was a member of an organized criminal gang. He assassinated 3 people. Benjamin Ritchie, who had met before, killed a police officer.
Hi, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. You been all right?
Yeah. Good to see you.
Yeah. How you doing?
Good to see you. Good. You two are in adjoining cells. How long have you been friends?
About 11 years. Since I got here on death row. He was already here when I got here.
How did this friendship come about? What drew you to each other as friends?
Well, we got the same interests. I mean, we play our music loud, we play video games, we work out, play basketball, eat together. If shit goes down, we whoop a motherfucker's ass together. That's how our friendship came about.
Does that mean you have a lot in common?
Yeah.
Well, I thought we did.
You're not sure anymore?
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't want you two friends to argue about that.
No, we're not going to argue.
hell
no.
no.
What's it?
No, I mean...
If anything, we always argue, but we've never come to blows over nothing.
No, never.
We'd be like, fuck
That'll
you,
never
fuck
happen.
you, and then half hour later, hey, what we eating tonight? It's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
It don't matter. It don't mean nothing.
I'm always right in the end, so...
Fuck.
He's the voice of reason.
Yeah,
You're the
absolutely.
voice of anger, from what you say.
Absolutely, yeah.
Is that right?
He keeps a leash on me, yeah. Like, I'd rather lash out at somebody. Like, when I first met Boyan, he hated me. Because I was just a straight-up asshole. I'd be in your face, fuck you. Come on in the shower and let's fight. And I calmed way down since then. Yeah, most of the police, they couldn't stand my ass. And I got allowed around older cats, and they calmed me down.
From your point of view, what's this friendship based on? We heard from Ritchie what he thought about it.
Trust in each other, you know. And, you know, basically that's, you know, trust.
Like if shit goes down, I got his back, he's got mine. See, that's why they moved us, because he got into it with a dude up here, in here, and almost killed him. And the police had to come in and stop it. And after they broke it up and everything, administration got wind that I was gonna try to kill the dude because he cut my buddy with a knife. And so they moved me and my buddy, Tex, here to the back and moved dude up in the front by himself, so nobody could get to the dude.
In everything you said, you were talking about one particular prisoner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to name that prisoner?
Bear.
He's the one next to you.
No,
You also
he's red hair, red beard,
Yeah.
and shit. Baby killer.
And your dislike of him and the fact that it's impossible to form any relationship with him is not only because he attacked your friend, but because of what he did to get here.
And what he represents as a man. He has no morals. He could have committed the crime he committed already, which was murder, and walked out the house, but yet you got a 4-year-old girl here and you cut her fucking head off practically. Uncalled for. You know what I mean? Uncalled for. And then you come in here and want to walk around with your chest puffed out, and you get your ass kicked a few times, and you know, and it still doesn't help to do. The only help for a dude like that is to be put down. Within the first 2 weeks of being on death row, I watched a man get murdered in front of me, get stabbed up 42 times, dispatched instantly. And that was my wake up to death row. Like, if you come here, you want to be a bully, you want to take shit from people, this is what's going to happen to you. The dude was just butchered.
Although you witnessed something so horrendous, you still sound pretty angry.
But see, here's the thing. If you show any sign of weakness in here, the sharks will circle. I won't be a victim. I'll be one of the sharks.
I think the sharks are going to circle regardless.
Before leaving the prison at the end of my first week, I asked to see Benjamin Ritchie again. But this time, face to face. In the year 2000, he shot and killed a policeman. At the time, Ritchie was on parole for burglary. With less of the bravado he showed in the company of his friend, I wanted to hear his view of his life and his crime.
Talk me through the incident which led you to be here.
Well, my crime is shooting a police officer and killing him. And it started off, you know, pretty harmless as a theft crime. Me and my friends would ride around and carjack people and take their rims from their cars from them. And my buddy's car was already full, so I decided, let's get a van or a truck and we fill it up with some rims and take it back and we can go sell everything. I got in a high-speed chase and wrecked into a house and jumped out and took off running. I was trying to get away, you know, but the cop was young and he was on my ass. And I thought maybe if I, you know, take my gun out and fire it a couple times, it'd scare him because, you know, he's a Beach Grove police officer. It's kind of a good neighborhood. Like, how many times has he been shot at, you know? You know, if that bullet would have hit just less than half of an inch lower, he'd be alive today. And I'd probably have a long, lengthy prison sentence, but I wouldn't be on death row, man.
How were you apprehended? How were you caught?
Well, I actually got away. I made it back actually a few blocks away to some family's house and a girl I was seeing and got away. And I didn't know I killed him until I got back to the house and seen it on the news, and that just destroyed me. I knew I hit him in the backyard, but I didn't know he was dead, right? I fell asleep. The next thing I know, I wake up and hear my buddy says they're outside. I wake up and it was like in the movies. You see a whole bunch of red dots from their guns going in and out the windows. And I was like, yeah, it's bad, man. I told him, go ahead and go out, leave the house. And I didn't know what I was gonna do. I didn't have no gun, I couldn't fight no more, so I just gave up.
What went through your mind when the court pronounced you guilty?
Well, I was trying to portray a tough guy in court, so when they gave me the death sentence, I laughed at them. And the prosecutor told everybody that's the voice of evil. Which I would agree at the time, yeah. You know, I deserved the death penalty. I was young and didn't care about anybody at all but myself or anything. And I deserved that sentence at the time. And yeah, I just pretty much laughed at them when they gave it to me. But then, you know, when I was by myself, it really sunk in like, man, you're more likely going to be executed one day. And it hit me hard, you know. So I put my face in my pillow and, you know what I mean, cried a little bit. And
Was it inevitable that sooner or later you would end up in a place like this?
I always knew as a kid I'd probably end up in prison. Yeah. It's weird because when I was a kid, I was fascinated with prison movies. Every time we'd drive by prison, I would wonder, what are those guys doing? What's it like in there? What are they up to? You know what I mean? Why should I care? I'm a kid, why should I care? But because I just always knew I was gonna end up in there because I just had a problem with the rules, with authority. And as you can see, I'm here because of that.
Because you killed the police officer, you face execution. If it does come to that, would you face that moment with deep regret, with remorse, or with defiance?
I would definitely regret it and definitely have remorse. But I'd also have a little defiance, like, why are you killing me? You said killing's wrong, but yet you're premeditatedly strapping me to this table and you're gonna poison me to death. You're gonna kill me. And that's what I would, you know, resent.
First in line to be put to death is a man who has been on the row for 15 years, Benjamin Ritchie. When we last met, he described the mad moment that sealed his fate.
Well, my crime is shooting a police officer and killing him. You know, if that bullet would have hit just half of an inch lower, he'd be alive today. And I'd probably have a long, lengthy prison sentence, but I wouldn't be on death row, man.
Mr. Ritchie, how are you?
Pretty good.
Good. We meet again.
Yeah. It's been a while.
I wasn't quite sure whether you would be still here when we last
I wasn't either, and it was pretty close now, right? Like I could get a date at any time, but ain't no companies, thank God, are gonna sell this place any drugs, you know what I mean?
What do you think of that? Is that a source of hope for you about some change to
Hell
your...
yeah. Like I hope to go to population, like, you know,
So in the general prison population?
yeah.
What has life been for you since I last saw you?
Shit, man. All kind of stuff's happened to me, man. I just got my visits back. I lost one for about 2 years.
What happened?
I was having sex in the visiting room.
You're not supposed to do that, though, are you?
It was worth it, though, man. It was worth it. It was the best minute, 30 seconds of my life.
Really? But, I mean, you knew what the consequences would be.
Yeah. I knew what I was doing. I knew a little blind spot here or there, you know what I mean? And it was on. It was worth it. She's bad, bro. Like Victoria's Secret model type bad.
The last time we talked, you talked about relationships on the row here. How's that? How are they?
Same situation still down there with that one, you know what I mean? Like, I hate that dude so much.
You're talking about Frederick Bear.
Yeah, Susie. We call him Susie.
Why do you call him that?
Because he's like a sweet, like a Susie cube. We used to have him on commissary like a little cupcake. and he's soft like a cupcake, right? I hate him so much, but I don't want to see the prison kill that dude. I'd rather see him in population getting the shit stabbed out of him or beat up for what he did, you know what I mean?
Do you know Mr. Gibson downstairs?
Yeah, I know him. That's my old buddy. He's a
Yeah.
Now that's a real serial killer.
Why do you say that?
Look at his case, man. That old man's been doing it a long time, you know?
William Clyde Gibson has the perverse distinction of being the only serial killer on Indiana's death row. Last year, across the United States, 23 men were executed. At Indiana State Prison, 11 men await their execution date. After 35 days in lockdown, they've been released from their cells. They can now have 4 hours of recreation a day. They're unshackled and free to walk within the confines of death row. During this time, the area is off limits to prison staff and visitors.
So you're off lockdown, huh?
Oh, yeah. They're gonna let us out for rec so people can call their families, because the dudes ain't talked to their families in about a month, right?
Is Mr. Bear going to come down here with you guys?
Oh, no.
Why not?
Because he'd be attacked. He'd be killed.
He's that unpopular.
Yeah.
But why?
He's got dudes' cell phones taken from them. He's told on everybody.
So it's more about
Absolutely.
his conduct
Absolutely.
and not
Listen.
what he did.
Listen, what he did was terrible, and I don't condone it. It's horrible to attack a woman and child. I don't give a shit about that. It's how you conduct yourself in here and what you've done in here, what brought these repercussions on you. I mean, I've already attacked him once and beat him half to death. He's been beat up 4 or 5 times, you know. He broke his arm, you know.
Why did you attack him?
Because he accused me of stealing something from him, right? I don't steal. When you accuse somebody of stealing something, you gotta face those consequences. Well, I gotta go, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you guys be safe.
Yeah.
The current unavailability of the drugs required for executions has led some death row prisoners here to hope that they too may never be put to death. Such a hope might be premature. This grey building in a quiet corner of the prison houses a brand new death chamber. That would suggest that Indiana is not about to abolish the death penalty.